Today's adventure brings us to the highest point in Pennsylvania, Mount Davis, coming in at 3,213 feet. Now that sign over there is not the high point, it's actually further up the street, but before we go there, we want to show you Bachman Rocks and how they got their name, heading down this way. These rocks got their names back in the spring of 1849 when Henry Bachman and his two sons, Henry and August, were out looking for their lost cows. August was only 12 years old, so he kept falling behind in the search, and his father was short-tempered, and he was really getting kind of ticked off with August, so he hit him over the back with a stick that he was carrying. Well, August fell to the ground. He was unconscious. He had blood coming out of his nose and his mouth. His father, looking down, thought he had killed his son, so he hid his son in these rocks. Later that night, it said that the father went back to the rocks to bury his son, and the body was no longer there. The father ended up being accused of murdering his son based on the testimony of his other son, Henry, who was there, and got convicted of second-degree murder. To this day, what happened to the body is a mystery. And there is a plaque telling the story built into this monument. So we found the rocks. I gotta tell you, if you're gonna hide a body, this would be one heck of a place to do it. Wow. I have descended down into the rocks. This is what I'm seeing. Cheryl, I haven't found any bodies except for yours. Pretty incredible sight. Alright, so I've covered just about all that I can cover out here. I was already over there. There's my lovely wife, Cheryl. So we are driving up to the high point. We were gonna take the grueling 0.8-mile walk with 200 feet of elevation. But we were all set to start hiking that, and a hunter came out with a crossbow, so we decided it'd be safer to just drive up. I mean, it's not like we were gonna break a sweat on that trail anyway. So we are headed to the observation tower now. Welcome to the summit of Mount Davis. Okay, technically we're not really at the summit, but we'll get there in just a second. It's not much higher. But here is a sign explaining the geographical feature of Mount Davis. Now, Mount Davis has absolutely no prominence whatsoever when it comes to mountains. I mean, we're used to New England mountains, so to get to the high point, see this rock? Hold, please. There is the high point of Mount Davis. Pretty tall, huh, sir?
Taller than me.
Now, here's an interesting little area. We normally don't get to see places like this when we are on the summit of a mountain, and this is located just behind the high point itself.
It looks like Plaqueville.
That's a good name for it. I mean, look at all of the plaques that have been mounted to these boulders. And they cover everything from history, forestry,
industry.
There's even a plaque here for the wild child, Lydia Schultz. She was 10 years old in 1830. She was told, hey, go gather the cows. I don't know what it is with cows and kids in this area, but they all end up missing. She was gone for months. She was living off the land. She was actually hiding from the people searching for her. Thankfully, she was found and returned to her family, though. Yeah, they got it all covered up here, getting right down to the high point itself. Now, this is the 5th high point for Cheryl and I. We have Maine, we have New Hampshire, Vermont, Rhode Island, and now we got Pennsylvania, babe.
There's one more plaque we want to show you, but it's difficult to see. It's for John Nelson Davis, who the mountain is named after.
He was a surveyor. He was a school teacher. He was a superintendent of schools here in Elk Lick Township, Pennsylvania. He was an ordained minister. He was a shoemaker. He was a farmer. And during the Civil War, he served as the first sergeant of Company K, 171st Pennsylvania Volunteers. Unbelievable. Oh, yeah. And he owned 26,000 acres of this mountain, including the top. All right, we're about to go up 50 more feet above sea level. Though that still doesn't even qualify for any of the 4,000 footers. I'll take you up the first level, and then we'll see you again at the top. This is pretty sturdy. We've been in fire towers that are nowhere near this sturdy. We'll see you up the top, up there somewhere. And look what's here on top of the tower. More plaques and a bronze map. And wind. A little more on Mount Davis. It was 1921 when a U.S. Geographical Survey came back stating that the tip of that rock we showed you was actually at 3,213 feet above sea level, officially making that little spot the highest point in Pennsylvania. Is it me? Or does it look like there's a lot of windmills out there?
There are a few.
Yeah, we have them up in New Hampshire too. Not really sure how I feel about them. And this is the 360-degree view that we're getting courtesy of the tower.
And did you know in June of 1930, the Department of Forest and Water decided to erect a steel tower?
You mean the one we're standing on?
Yes, the one we're standing on. It was actually built in 1935.
Wicked cool.
Yes.
There you go, Mount Davis, number 5 for us on the high pointers list. The highest point in Pennsylvania. Remember, next couple of videos are going to be in Pennsylvania too. So if you like what you saw, we'd appreciate a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, it's so easy to do. And if you know anyone that's interested in coming here, feel free to share this video with a friend. Back until our next adventure. The end.